Hey everyone, I'm Justin with AmericanTrucks.com, and today I'm taking a closer look at the Superlift steering stabilizer kit featuring the dual Fox 2.0 shocks available for all 2011 and newer four-wheel drive F-250s. Now, you should be checking out the Superlift option if your truck has been lifted at least 3 inches or more, and you're looking for a high-quality option to get the smoothness back in your steering and help the truck track a lot straighter while on the road, even with larger tire sizes. So right off the bat, I do want to stress again that this kit from Superlift will only fit the 2011 and newer four-wheel drive Super Duties that have been lifted at least 3 inches or more. Now the reason being, the center bracket here will make contact with the track bar under compression on trucks that are not lifted 3 inches or more. So just keep that in mind. Now what this kit will do is replace your worn out factory single stabilizer with a dual unit loaded with some of the highest quality gas dampers out there from Fox. Now, when installed, this kit and those Fox shocks will add smoothness back into your steering and driving experience while helping to prevent any shimmying or the dreaded death wobble on the road. Now, as an added bonus, I'd say those twin Fox shocks will look really good underneath the front end, and you know, that's always nice to point out as well. Now, construction from the US made kit is completely on point here, starting with those Fox 2.0s. They are going to feature a monotube design with a high flow race inspired piston and a gas charge in a clear anodized 6061 aluminum body, which by the way, I'm a big fan of because that aluminum is going to be great at dissipating heat compared to other stainless steel bodies. Now the valving has certainly been tailored for heavy duty truck use along with larger, heavier tires, along with of course some rough terrain. Now on top of that guys, the Fox 2.0s here are joined by a high quality bracket which has been powder coated to prevent any corrosion over the years. Now your pricing for the Fox equipped kit here from Superlift will round out the higher end of the price spectrum at around that $600 mark. Now, if your stock stuff is totally beat and you need to maybe keep things a little bit more budget friendly, well, you could always go with Superlift's hydraulic option, skip the Fox shocks altogether. That's gonna save you about $200 to $300. Or you could always just replace your single factory damper with a single Fox or a single Bilstein unit. That is totally up to you. And as always guys, I'm going to encourage you to check out the rest of our selection here at AT before making your final choice. Shifting gears, let's get into the installation, and the site's gonna call this one a pretty solid 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you, I would say, 3 hours at absolute most to complete from start to finish. But now let's throw things out to the shop. Let's check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
The tools you're gonna need for this install include an impact, electric or regular 3/8 ratchet, a 15mm swivel socket, a 9/16 socket, an 18 and a 19mm socket, a 5/16 Allen socket, a 19mm wrench, a hammer, a rag, safety glasses, and lubricant. What's up guys? Today we're going to be installing a steering stabilizer on our F-250, so let's get started. Important note, if your stud is seized, you could use penetrating oil and a hammer, and you can back this nut out till it's flush with the stud, and you can use a hammer to tap it out. Now we can remove this nut with our 18mm socket. You use a hammer to tap it out. Now we can come back over to our bolt and remove it with our 15mm socket. And now our factory steering stabilizer is removed. So now we can install this bracket. All we have to do is remove these 2 bolts, and there is a nameplate on here that shows your gear ratio. You could either swap that over to the other side of the diff, or you could put that in your glove box. For demonstration purposes, we're gonna put that to the side. So now we can get this installed. So now we can take a 9/16 socket and remove these 2 bolts. Hold on to that nameplate. Now we can install our bracket with our new Allen head bolts and washer. You can slide those over top. Gonna slide our bracket over this bar, get the holes lined up, thread in our bolts and washer. Then we can tighten these down with our 5/16 socket. Now we can slide our large U-bolt through the back of the axle, through these two holes. Then we can throw on our smaller washers and our nut. Same for the bottom. Then we can tighten those down with a 9/16 socket. Going to tighten them down evenly so this bracket sits even. Now we can take our smaller brackets and make sure that this hole is facing towards the front of the vehicle, and we'll have it looped around this way. And you're going to measure from the middle of this hole to the center of this hole. Should be exactly 19.5 inches. So now we can slide our smaller U-bolts over the bar, through the 4 holes in the back of the bracket. Then we can thread our 4 nuts onto the back. So we can get this lined up, hold it in place. Now we can tighten these down with our 9/16 socket. Now you can repeat that same process on the other side. Now our next step is installing our shock. So you have to take our bolt, put that through our bracket that you installed, slide our shock through. Then we can take our large washer and our large nut, thread this on. Now we can come up to our center bracket. We'll also be installing this bracket too. So we can take our bolt, put it through the top bracket, through the second bracket. Then we can compress our shock so it goes in. Like so. Then we can take our washer and our nut, thread that on. Now we can tighten these down using a 19mm socket and 19mm wrench. You can lightly tighten this one until you install the second shock. Now that you've lightly tightened down the passenger side, you can mirror those same steps on the driver's side. So that's going to wrap up the install on our Superlift Fox dual steering stabilizer kit for your 11 to 22 four-wheel drive F-250 Super Duty. Thanks for watching, and for all things F-250, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.